You gotta make your listing pop, boy. Okay, Airbnb. I've been doing Airbnb for over 10 years now, more than 1,000 bookings in the making, and I thought it would be about time to make a video where I explain and explore the lessons that I've learned so you guys can avoid doing the same mistakes as I did. The good thing about this video is that I'm not here to tell you anything. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just here to share my tips that I wish I had known before I started 10 years ago. And as you see, I've had quite a few very positive reviews in my opinion from my guests over the years. Even though no one is perfect, I think I've done a pretty good job overall. And I've perhaps also stayed on a bit too many Airbnbs myself over the years, all over the world. With that experience in combination with my hosting experience, I think I have a pretty solid foundation of how hosting is done. So location, location, location. I can't stress this enough. Location is so important. People, they want to be where the action is. They want to be where the attraction is. And they want to be where the pulse and the vibe of the city is. So a prime location, in my opinion, is always better than a bigger space. People are not that much at home when they're traveling anyway, and most likely prefer the convenience of a central or a attractive location much higher than a bigger space. When I started Airbnb 10 years ago, I had a place in the city center of Copenhagen. It was only for 42 square meters, around 120 square feet, but the location was spot on for tourists. It was smack down in the city center. So if you're in the process of selecting a prime location always wins over bigger spaces, in my opinion. That's tip number one. Number two, this is what I call the wow factor. You have to make your listing stand out. You have to make your listing pop. So you have to focus on what makes your space truly unique and authentic, original. How does your space attract the attention of guests looking for a space? Because there is a sea of competition out there. There are millions of options to choose from when people are picking their Airbnb. So you have to find some kind of element that draws the attention to your space specifically. Most people, they want something that's special, something that is unique, something they can brag about to their friends and family at home. So if you don't own a church on the mountainside of Barcelona overlooking the city, which is probably the case, you have to be creative and find some kind of element that can infuse, uniqueness and character and originality into your space. So whether it's adding a lot of plants, as I like to do, or doing some kind of quirky decor that stands out, that's unique, or adding a huge glass wall as a room divider, for example, something like that. Throw some element in there that's untraditional, that draws the attention, that really stands out and makes us want to tell all our friends about it, to make your space unique. Crisp and beautiful photos is a non-negotiable. So either you hire a professional photographer or you do it yourself if you're into interior photography. Either way, you have to really make sure that your listings photos are absolutely beautiful. Human beings are visual creatures. 80 to 90% of the information that we get into our body, to our brain, is through the eyes. So that means that crisp, professional, beautiful photos is a non-negotiable. Okay, number 4. Keep your place spotless. This might go without saying, you would think, but I've visited so many Airbnbs that it just slacks on the cleaning process, and it's such a shame, because people, they want to check into a space that they can feel right away it's well maintained, it's tidy, it's clean. If you get into a space that's disgusting right away, or has hairs in the bed or stains on the wall, whatever it may be, and the reviews is gonna be to make sure the place is spotless. If you don't enjoy scrubbing down toilets and changing the bed sheets all the time, that's alright. But then you have to make sure that you have the right cleaning crew, because it's a tough job, it's an important job, and you have to find somebody who's reliable, who doesn't back out right before a booking. You can't be there to check their work all the time between every booking. So make sure they are well taken care of, be respectful towards the cleaning crew, and for sure it will pay off for you as well. Number 5, price smart, win big. So dynamic pricing really is your secret weapon. I personally manually tweak my rates every day. Dates that's far into the future, for example, in a year, is gonna be at a premium, gonna be high rate. And guests that really wanna lock in your space in advance, they're gonna have to pay the premium. The closer you get to the specific date, the lower you're gonna lower the rate. If your intention is to have a full calendar booked to increase the occupancy rate as much as possible, you have to manually tweak the prices on a daily basis. This is also going to be showing the Airbnb algorithm that you are active, you're a dedicated host, and you know your shit, which is going to boost your listings on the search rank and drive more bookings your way. I know there's a smart pricing feature now on Airbnb, which is of course better than nothing, but I personally like to be in full control and then do the manual dynamic pricing myself. And it really adds a lot of flexibility. This is one of the features that I have always enjoyed the most about Airbnb, because there's so much flexibility and freedom in it. If I really want my place to be booked, I can just manually tweak down the prices. And if I feel like I don't really need those bookings at this point, I can just push up the prices to a higher amount. What do you think so far? Do you like these tips? If you do so, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It'll help a lot. I'll be posting more videos in the future like this, where I share my tips, my ideas, my tricks. So be sure to subscribe and drop a comment if there's something that resonates. What lesson so far has been your favorite? Let me know in the comments. So number 6, respond lightning fast. Speed really is king. A great way to signal your professionalism is to be super fast. The Airbnb algorithm also loves responsive hosts and hosts that are quick to reply, which is going to improve your position on the search results. So the faster you reply to a booking, the better. This is also a great way to get bookings, because many people, when they're going on a trip, they inquire on a bunch of different listings. And if you are the first one of all those listings to respond, it's first of all, it signals professionalism. It signals that you are a responsive host that they can trust. And it signals that you are ready to take the booking, which means that you are probably going to be the one running with the booking. And again, the faster you respond, the better you're going to be placed on the search results. So as quick as possible, respond when people are inquiring. Number 7, set clear expectations. This is also a very important point. So make sure there's clear rules and check-in instructions for the guests. That's going to avoid a lot of confusion and drama that will be reflected in the review anyway. So make sure the check-in instructions are clear. Clear communication really is a game changer also when you're communicating on the chat. And it's a great way to make sure that the review is going to be great. It's also a way to make the guests feel heard and feel safe, that they can trust you as a host. So set clear expectations and have clear communication. Very important. So number 8, a warm welcome. If you have the chance, be sure to meet them in person when they check in. It builds so much trust, and I can guarantee you, if you meet them in person, you're always gonna get a 5-star review. That's my experience at least. It's most likely not possible to be there for every booking. If not, leave a warm welcome note with crystal clear check-in instructions as mentioned before. A little warmth goes a long way, and especially in these AI-dominated times, the authenticity and the human touch is something that people are gonna resonate and appreciate more and more in the future. You can also wow guests with a little personal guidebook with some recommendations for the neighborhood, something like that. That's gonna be highly appreciated. It's a great way to boost the connection and the comfort, and again, hit that emotional sweet spot that people, they really crave. And that's gonna boost your reviews and boost your bookings. Number 9, guest feedback and reviews. You gotta leverage the guest feedback to grow your business. A great way to grow and improve your Airbnb is to leverage feedback from the guests. So not just feedback through the reviews. I also ask the guests while they are staying if there's anything I can improve, if there's something they are missing. You really want to be sure that if there's something that annoys the guests, something that's missing or whatever it is, if you ask them how things are going, for example, the day after they check in, you still have time to improve and to make sure that the guests are happy. If, for example, I had a guest who thought it was too dark in the apartment and turned out one of the light bulbs had died. So because I asked him before his checkout if there's anything he was missing. I was able to turn probably a 4-star review around and make it into a 5-star review, because he also felt very taken care of and he felt very much at peace that I came in and made sure that the light bulb was on. That's a great way to make sure that the reviews are going to be 5 stars. And also a way to improve your listing over time. Always ask for feedback if there's anything that you can improve on, any pain points that you might be missing. Leverage the feedback as a way to improve your listing. Very important. And finally, number 10, don't sweat the guest damage. After 1,000 bookings, I can say it loud and clear. People are generally super nice and well behaved. They are respectful. As long as you're respectful towards your guests, and especially if you have created a space that's well done, that's well maintained, that people can sense you've put a lot of love and care into, they are so much more likely to treat it with respect and to take good care of it. Actually, a lot of my bookings after people have checked out is actually in a better shape sometimes than when they were checking in. People, sometimes they just clean up after themselves, even though I haven't asked them to, but people are super nice. So don't stress about the guest damage. For some people, it can be frightening to have people checking into their home. They're afraid that everything is going to be destroyed and they're going to ruin their kitchen. So focus on creating a space that's well done, that's well maintained, and that you are proud of, and the guests will treat it with much more respect. That's also a great argument for creating a space that really is well maintained. In reality, it is so rare, so don't sweat it. And in worst case scenario, Airbnb also has an insurance policy, so they're gonna cover most of the expenses if there's any major damages. So there you have it. That's my 10 battle-tested lessons from over 1,000 bookings on Airbnb. If you found some kind of value, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I'm gonna do more videos in the future. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or feedback. I'd love to improve as a creator as well. Feel free to share this video with some of your friends who might benefit. That'll help a lot as well. And again, if you follow these 10 lessons, you really can't fuck it up. So get out there, create some beautiful listings, get down to business, and I'll see you in the next one.